we were struggling to keep our cool after that last game because it was a nail biter. It was a thriller. We almost thought we were going to see a super over, but KKR went and won that game by 1 run. There were so many cool moments from that match that I can't pick one, but I'd like to ask Joyda and Simon for their career room air conditioner coolest moment of the match. There were plenty, but Simon, Joyda, do you all have one that you can pick from?
Mine is going off field.
Going off field?
It's going off field to Michael Goff.
Ah, yes. He was very, very good, the third umpire.
Just kept his cool. Used technology absolutely spot on for the dismissal of Virat Kohli. Absolutely perfectly the use of technology. Didn't waver from it, saw the trajectory. The trajectory was well below the waist if he was standing in his normal batting position at the crease. I know there's conjecture and I know RCB fans will be all up in arms and all over social media, but it was out. You know, by the letter of the law, it was out, and Michael Goff just read it perfectly, kept his cool, delivered the verdict. Game, you know, that was it.
Exactly. I think that's the one thing, if anyone who's looking at, do not look at where the ball passed the waist. No. Look at where the ball would have been had he been standing on his crease. And he was a good 8, 9, 10 inches above the crease.
But Joyda, I mean, just in his defense, Virat was trying to say he was out of the crease, but he played it up front. So that doesn't count.
No, so nothing counts. The question is, at the point, if I'm standing and I'm not leaning down, you know, if I'm standing straight in the crease, is the ball above my waist or not? That's it. There's nothing else that you need to look at it. Where the bat is, where the bat isn't, where the ball started, nothing else you need to look at. And I think what Goff did very well was just cut to the basics, and had he taken time, this could have snowballed into a much more difficult situation.
So true.
I think he called it early, he called it clearly. I can understand Virat not understanding exactly what was happening out there. Perhaps he didn't quite understand, but once he went out, I'm sure somebody would have shown him this and say, this is why you're out. And I think after that, he would have understood this is what had happened.
When he looks back on it, I think he'll understand the decision was correct at the time. I mean, and it looked very high, and it would have felt to him like it was too high, far too high. But it was a slower ball. It was definitely dipping. You saw the trajectory. And if we're going to trust the trajectory and everything for Hawkeye, for the LBWs and the referrals and everything, we have to trust it.
And they have been measured. All the players have been measured.
All the players have been measured, and the line of the ball was clearly going under the waist at the crease, and that's the key to it. And I understand Virat's frustration because he was quite a way out of the crease. He would have felt like it was really high. It probably felt worse to him at the time than it really was. And but as I say, afterwards, he knows the laws. He's a student of the game. He knows. Hot under the collar at the time because he's disappointed to get out to a slow ball full toss, which he probably should have banged into the grandstands. So there's disappointment all in and around that, but the correct decision was made. So that's why I just thought Michael Goff was just cool, calm and collected, and that's why he's one of the best in the business.
Well, for Simon and for Joy, Michael Goff's decision was the career room air conditioner coolest moment of the match, but a lot of you have written in. Let's have a look at some of the tweets from X's. Ayush writes in and says, Will Jack's 6 on Stark over long off was wicked if only RCB had played him earlier in the tournament. I think a lot of RCB fans will agree with that. Let's see who's up next.
If only RCB is actually a story by itself.
If only, titled If Only, RCB's autobiography. Mr. Mishra says that Andre Russ and Sunil Narayan's double wicket overs, West Indies boys to Kolkata's rescue. Yes, let's see who else is up next. Kunal says from Saul to Ramandeep, this Kolkata batting lineup is the most threatening after Hyderabad. That's his career room air conditioner, coolest moment of the match. Thank you so much for writing in. Like I said, there were way too many cool moments, but Simon and Joy have picked a very cool umpire for the career room air conditioner coolest moment of the match.